Let's talk about this because this is crazy. Wow. Like I said, today couldn't get no more shocking. I'm starting to look at the reports, and when you look at the reports, you're starting to see whatever happened here is a tragedy. Reginald Carroll, seen him around a while. He was on a lot of comedian cards. And man, did it get crazy. This thing is shocking and out the blue to hear that he would be shot was like, what? And now, like, who would want to do that to Reggie? Like, Reggie Carroll? Why? So your whole mind is gone because you can't fathom why would somebody want to do that. So of course they're going to investigate to see what happened. Now, I'm hearing all this Katt Williams chatter. It was, hey man, Katt got to go in hiding. Katt got to go in hiding. I'm like, yeah, man, this ain't looking good for Katt. I'm like, now, Reggie Carroll has been not just on Katt Williams' show. He's been an act on a lot of people's shows, not just Katt Williams. But I say but with a good reason. But something happened that most people just don't understand. Well, let me tell you something. Now, let's go through this. Look at the apple tree. That's what I'm talking about, apple tree. We got an apple tree in the hood, B. Now, anyway, let's go from there, right? Reggie lost his life in Mississippi, where Katt Williams has his online store, the Onyx Owl. It's an online store, but this is where they distribute. And I'm like, wait a minute. He was shot at Katt Williams' store? His online store? What was he doing there? Now, remember, Katt Williams just bought an entire old abandoned military complex that he's building into a studio. where he's gonna make this type of movie and some in the theater, some on Netflix, some on all these different streaming channels. He's gonna create content. So right now, while he's building up this base to be more, studio friendly, turning it more into a studio set with all these different sets, right? While he's doing that, he's sitting there getting all of this information. 50 Cent is doing his, Katt Williams is doing one, Tyler Perry has one. Studios have been losing money, the major studios, and they're trying to get people to run out to the theaters. Like, no, run to the movies. And now they lost they didn't even do $4 billion this summer, which is massive for the studios. So they're not going to be too happy about that. People are making studios and thinking more for the small screen. But you didn't do anything for the brothers. You didn't want to put movies out there for blacks to go watch. You didn't care about hiring black actors. So now the streaming opens up. So the brother said, okay, we got work. People that love to see us want to see us. Now they ain't got to leave the crib. Now you're hurt because a lot of people are not leaving the crib. They rather just sit at home and wait for it to come on streaming. And that hurts the movie industry. And I don't even know how you do that. I love to go to the movies. There's nothing like sitting in a movie theater and getting away. But then again, I work from home. So if you go out in the world, maybe it's different. But even when I did that, I love to go to the movies. That was an escapism to get out and away from everything. Now, Reginald was shot and killed at the Onyx Owl, as it was reported, which is owned by Katt Williams. The person who's been arrested for the shooting death of Reginald Carroll is Katt Williams' close friend. So now it's, why did this close friend of Katt Williams allegedly he's being charged for the shooting death of Reginald Carroll? But now the Mississippi governors and the government are looking at this and saying, Katt Williams in a shooting incident? Well, let's look through his past arrests. This guy has a problem with this, and this. This might be bigger than what we thought. So now they're looking into Katt Williams to see how they can tie Katt Williams to this situation. But the why would be the question. Why would Katt Williams want to do that? Why would Katt go through this situation? And the Mississippi Republican government, that is going to be quite a tale. It's going to be quite the tale. Doesn't usually make a lot of sense. So when you hear these situations and you hear how they occur, you often have to, my sinuses is going crazy right now. You often have to keep in mind When someone normally has a shooting death, 9 times out of 10, you know the person that did it. You probably was friends with the person that did it. Y'all probably was road dogs, best of friends. Then that all flipped, and now y'all not best of friends anymore. That's why they say it's always gonna probably be a guy you took a picture with that be the one to pull the trigger. The person that's the biggest fan of you turn around and be your biggest hater. No, I ain't seen what Corey had to say. I'm gonna have to check it out, but I haven't seen what Corey had to say. But man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna check it out. But what was he saying about it? Because it's something crazy we don't understand. I mean, people could sit back and assume, but it's an open investigation still, even though they've arrested the guy who's Katt Williams' friend. He's in custody for the shooting death of Reginald Carroll. The investigation is still open, which means Katt's gonna have to lawyer up. He's in Mississippi. This is a whole different animal. And there's a lot of people that don't want to see Katt Williams have this studio fixed up. There's a lot of powerful people in Hollywood. It's not like being embarrassed on no club shake. See what happened to Shannon Shaw. See, you wasn't just dissing black comedians on Club Shay Shay. You was dealing black comedians that's controlled by white ones. People that are part of a circle, a cult, a collectional cult. See, the scary thing about what Katt Williams said on Club Shay Shay is that it was true. The majority of what he was talking about was true. Now, we take that even further. You'll say, well, what do you mean? Here's what I mean about it. These cults, right? You look at Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey either had the worst booking agent in the world or nobody was checking for him. After the Kings of Comedy, He gave up his show to go into Hollywood. He gave up his TV show and he was going full Hollywood. Right? What roles was he getting? He was on the Love Don't Cost a Thing. He was in You Got Served as the DJ host. He did the Johnson's Family Reunion, which was Said's movie, wasn't his. And the Johnson's reunion was just a sad example of what you make when they wanted to destroy Roscoe Jenkins' Family Reunion, which really had the same people almost. Now, we're going too far into it. Roscoe Jenkins was the better one with Martin Lawrence. Said was in both, but Said did his, right? And when Said did his, he brought in Steve Harvey. But these are considered to be low budget. Meanwhile, Bernie Mac, he was in A-list Hollywood. He up there with Brad Pitt and George Clooney. He in the Transformers movie. He's doing Paramount. He's got scenes in that. Bernie got to do his own movie. Because Bernie 1 was funnier. And Bernie was hot. Everybody liked Bernie. Now, at that time when they did Kings of Comedy, Bernie was the only one that didn't have a show. He was the only one that didn't have a show. Right, Huey had a show. DL had a show, and Bernie didn't have one. And he joked about that in the outskirts of that Kings of Comedy. They cut that out of his performance that he did in New Orleans. The New Orleans show, he brought that up. Everybody got a show in here, except for me. I know why. Y'all afraid I'm going to say something. They end up cutting that out because Steve didn't like that. He's making it seem like we all puppets and he's saying something special that none of us are talking about. That just didn't seem right. So I said, well, I don't want to cause no beef with the other guys. I know Bernie. I know Bernie just being Bernie. He ain't meaning that. But everybody got egos. No, you had the ego. That was going to hurt your feelings to see that go out to the world. But then on the outskirts, he said it again. And it's on the DVD. When the credits is rolling, you will see Bernie bring that up. So even though the joke got cut out of production, this is what ended up happening. Steve loved to tell a lie and try to mold the Kings of Comedy into what he wants it to be. You were one of the Kings of Comedy, but your sets were so bad, they had to just make you the host and the MC. Where you don't have a set. You just tell some sections of jokes before they bring up real comedians. Because you can't listen to Steve Harvey for a whole hour. HBO then gave you how many sets that nobody replayed? Then you use the church when you want to change your image. You play with God. He ain't done with me yet. I'm going to cut out all this cursing and profanity and I'm going to do a whole clean concert. Remember that? Steve did that. He ain't done with me yet. So Steve done that. Then Steve Harvey turned around and went right back to cursing, didn't he? After he got all them churches to come in, start packing up the buses, going on his tour, bringing out a choir. He used y'all. He used the church to get himself back up. You helped pay for that divorce too, so he happy for that. Thank you, God. That's why he said he ain't through with me yet. Played that whole Christian role, right? Then he went back to cursing on his next tour. That's why. See, my memory ain't bad, Steve. My memory ain't bad, because I know some stupid Christians that follow you, and they still upset with you. Now, here's some things that happened around that time. Bernie died, and they needed to attach themselves to something else. Bernie was on Oprah. Steve didn't even know Oprah. He was not there. Once Bernie died, Steve forced himself into that funeral, knowing they were not friends, told this lie about how they patched things up. They were not friends, they were not cool, but he showed up there at that funeral in Chicago. He was not going to be denied, and he wanted to speak. Then he got the hell up out of there and didn't even really talk to the family. Talking about, I had a plane to catch because I had to record. No, you dipped out of there because they was going to talk to you as to who let you speak at Bernie Mac's funeral. And there was a lot of people in there who was upset that you got up there and spoke. Now, he leaves. All of a sudden, Steve Harvey's getting all these deals. He gets a book deal. He gets the host of the show Family Feud. They told him, Steve, you're just not a movie star. There's ways to get money. We're going to help get you there. Because he's ready to play ball. So who did they put you with? Who are your owners, Steve? The people that stay in the dark that you don't see. Well, let's go to the people that own Steve Harvey. Dr. Phil, Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah, we naming names. They own Steve Harvey. Those are his caretakers. You see, Ellen wasn't just some comedian who was on tour. She had a whole production company. She had all these people who she was behind and was pushing. Like Sean Diddy Combs. They were in her circle. Dr. Phil. When Steve got his plaque on the Hall of Fame, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, who was the two people behind him that you saw there? Ellen DeGeneres and Dr. Phil. Because they own him. They the one that put him on the Walk of Fame. They the one got him the book. He got a book deal. Now he's this new relationship guru. Think like a man. Act like a woman. That's genius, Steve. No, that's the problem, Steve. You don't need a woman to think like a man. So you basically just saying this is how stupid women are and how easily they could be manipulated by nonsense. If you got a woman that's thinking like a man, then who the hell supposed to think like a woman? The men? So you basically saying the way women think is pretty stupid. If she's acting like a lady, then she's not thinking like a man. And then that became a bestseller. They made a movie about it. Think like a man, when all the women are just making the men look stupid, putting all these damn beta males in there. They walking around while they women make them do stupid shit all through the movie. And I'm like, that's thinking like a man? And so the man's supposed to think like hoes. Okay, I get it. You put a bunch of hoes in there to be the wives that's supposed to be thinking like men. And now these hoes is in there manipulating these men. Now, what is Steve Harvey's job? It's to find more, to get into these circles. The same circles Katt Williams is talking about on that couch with Shannon Sharp. But see, y'all don't know. I know. Steve went and got Kevin Hart. That was his recruitment piece. Oh, I'm bringing him on. He put Kevin Hart in there because Kevin Hart got naked and did a doggone strip show live on his radio show. Came in there in his drawers so he can get the part. I'm telling it all. If you've been on my Patreon, you would already know. So sign up for the Casino for Life Patreon, because we just exposed Michael Jordan and his secret relationship he had with a white girl that was right under your nose. That's on there. Now, a white girl you know. Now, all right, these are all facts. So Katt Williams was recruited and brought in, and he was putting these romantic comedies. And who was the other person they got? Regina Hall, who was brought in by Sanaa Lathan, who told her how to cater to these men, go out and be seen with these rich, powerful white men, be around them. She had a boyfriend. She was like, you're going to have to get rid of that boyfriend. Regina Hall, you're going to have to get rid of him. They need to see you available. And so now Lathan was teaching her basically how to be a hoe. So she was like, God dang, I can't roll with y'all like that. And see, this is why Sanaa Lathan was looked at as car booty. And she went a whole different route, where Regina King stayed true. And she said, I'm not going to go, I can't hang out with y'all all the time like that. I'll see y'all at a red carpet event, but I can't be hanging with y'all and doing the whole phase. I've done that. Not doing that. I need to be taken serious. So now Lathan was never taken serious. So this is why she takes the Chitlin circuit. She thought looking good, laying on her back, was gonna get her places. Her daddy's the producer, but her daddy was like, look, I'm not just gonna be putting you in stuff because you're my daughter. It's out. I told you don't get in this business. You did. You're gonna have to deal with the business. Now, Now, on top of that, it seems like it's cicada season again because they all like over the floor, everything. I'm like, they should be dying out. Now, here's the situation, because I want people to understand it clearly. So when you see all of these people hearing Katt Williams go 50 million for one video, I got a video that got 28 million views. 28 million. But it ain't no 3-hour long video. They got 50 million views on a video that's about 2 hours long. That's never been done before. Every country has heard this. And the supporters and the people who've been behind those people that he was tearing down, those are their guys. They make money on. Now, Dr. Phil ain't strong enough to save Steve Harvey. Ellen DeGenerate ain't strong enough to save Steve Harvey. She was so mean to everybody and got power drunk, they snatched everything from her. That's how that happens. That's how quickly it happens. They snatched everything from her. And they had to get her out the way. But you think she still ain't in the circle? Come on. So in that collective group that got Dr. Phil in it, and all the rest of them, all they do is go find the next one. 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 And like Little Nas X, who was the one they found that got him the HBO specials, and he kept getting these TV shows and people didn't know why, and they brought it up? Katt Williams kind of brought his name up, and they didn't like it. Gerard Carmichael. How many of y'all know who Gerard Carmichael is? See, Gerard Carmichael was a comedian who had a TV show before anybody even really saw his stand-up. He didn't even have a stand-up really, like a special. And here he is, a comedy writer. And to me, he just isn't funny. And I guess things was going in his career not a way where people were gravitating to him. Even as a fake straight man, we didn't really think he was funny. So they tried the angle pull. Wasn't by design. Okay, people have been prying into his life, and they had the information they needed. Allegedly, he was being extorted. Like, hey, just like Little Nas X, like, we got all this information on you, and I don't want to have to tell your business and put it out, but I got a deadline. So something's got to happen. I need X amount of dollars, and rather to pay the extortion, the person was forced to come out. Meanwhile, the alleged person he was dealing with was another black comedian who just couldn't afford to have to deal with his family if that information had came out. And allegedly, that black comedian took his life. He wound up deceased. Gerard goes public. And all hell breaks loose. And y'all was asleep through the whole thing. Never knew. This is why I have a Patreon. So you don't be asleep to any of this that I'm telling you. To the rest of the world, they waking up like, whoa, wow, this is incredible. For the Patreons, they be like, man, I heard this 2 years ago. And exactly. We told you 2 years ago. Now, many will wonder, they will insinuate, okay, normally when you have a comedy special that don't reach a certain point of view, then when your comedy special is based on you coming out, that's supposed to give you a whole new audience. That was never your audience before. They didn't know you, homie. Now you in a whole new realm. Hold on one second. All right, we back. We back. Back like we never left. Now, as you've seen all of these narratives play out, right? Now you're starting to see the culprits. Yeah, my phone battery was dead. I had to put it on the charger. So we don't black out. So when you start seeing the scenarios go in speed in a way that don't really or usually make a lot of sense, that's when you could start questioning the you got to start questioning the way things are moving, because Gerard Carmichael continuously get comedy specials that don't sell. He never had the black audience. He never had the suburban white people audience. His TV show failed because just people didn't view it as funny. It didn't really connect to anybody. Gerard Carmichael was a pretty weird guy, and stuck in his worlds. And now that he's open about his life situation, he's still weird. Now he's just a weird black gay guy. That's it. And he's not relating to the white gay people, and nobody else is gay is even caring about him. So it's like, it's pretty soon, it's like the Gerard Carmichael experiment isn't working. So now, when you see Katt Williams' name is being thrown into the mix because of the associated people, it was at the Onyx Owl. Onyx is black, people. Onyx is just a word that means black. So Black Owl is his online store, but it was the physical location that they got in Mississippi. So, hmm so it doesn't mean Cat has anything to do with it. It just means that they're investigating. Well, if you find it in your hearts to want to do that, then yeah, I mean, that's up to you. No, because Cat Williams' name was involved through the association of that. This is his place. It's in Mississippi, though, and it's ran by a Republican system that you don't want to have to deal with. You don't want to be on this side of the equation, especially if you Cat Williams with your past arrests and all of this stuff. You don't want none of this stuff coming back to you. What happened to Reggie shouldn't have happened at all. Well, they have arrested the guy who did the shooting, and that's the thing. They've arrested the guy who did the shooting, Cat Williams' friend. And, I think he was friends or cool with Reggie as well. Like, I don't know what prompted it, but they got him arrested. And it's just a sad situation, bro. Sad situation. All the way around the board. That's the guy who allegedly shot and killed him, who's arrested for it. And there he is. And that's him in custody right now. So, yeah, that's Cat Williams' friend. Nobody knows how long he's going to be there or what he's going to say as the reason why this happened. That would make him have to pull out a gun. So we're gonna wait and see how this all plays out. Yeah, 5 teardrop homeboy as your security. I just don't know what could be the problem. Yeah, like I said, he was Monique He was on tour with them before. Like, that's why he would be down there. But what was the infraction that they ended up getting into that Katt Williams' name is gonna get thrown around? Anybody do anything, they gonna say Katt Williams did it or Katt got a problem. We all know that. We know that's gonna be the case, but Monique loved him too, you know. Mm-hmm. Well, South Haven, Mississippi, then already put out a statement. But okay, let me zoom in on it so you can see it. Hold on, I'm gonna zoom in for you so y'all can see it. There it is. South Haven Police Department. Due to an active investigation, this limited information is to be released. We can confirm that on Wednesday, October 20th, 2025, South Haven Police Department responded to the area of Burton Lane in regards to the shooting. South Haven officers located one male victim suffering from a gunshot wound. The other officers and medical personnel provided the life-saving techniques, but the individual succumbed to his injuries. The victim has been identified as 52-year-old Reginald Carroll of Maryland. One male is in custody and has been charged with the murder of Reginald Carroll. Our thoughts are with the family of Mr. Carroll. Thank you for the community, for their patience and understanding. Update. The individual has succumbed to his injuries. This is still an ongoing investigation. One male being questioned. We won't have any further information and names of these parties involved at this time. They said there's no ongoing threat. And as far as Katt Williams and being investigated, well, it's an open investigation and they're definitely asking questions about it. And what does this have to do with Katt? Or if it has anything to do with Katt. So I just hope, he gets a fair shake at this because it's a lot of demons out there that don't want to see him succeed. And it's a lot of demons in this industry. So I'm out. Let me deal with my sinus attack because they out here attacking me right now. Don't forget to sign up for my Patreon. You find more information on all the stuff we was just talking about on my Carcino for Life Patreon. So y'all should be already signed up. Get the VIP. It's worth it. We got over 2,000 different things on there. Somebody be like, I saw everything already. I mean, no, you didn't. It's over 2,000. And you ain't no damn way you saw over 2,000. People be saying anything online, boy. All right, I'm out.